Still don't have one. Still don't have an intro. Still don't have one. But, yeah, this video is going to be how to beat the death game. I can't see the top of the things in the way. God dang it. My eyesight's messing up again. However, I don't want to delay the end because this video is like almost 30 minutes long, and I only have so long to record this. So yeah, I do plan on doing the rest of the other video, the medieval one, which is like right here for me, like a different tab. It's like I think maybe an extra 40 minutes, another hour on that one. I'll probably be doing that on Wednesday? Question mark. I have a video that I want to do for, what's today? Actually, what is today? Today's the 13th. Okay. So that thing comes out tomorrow. Alright, so I'm doing a reaction on that one for... Tomorrow's Monday, do that one Tuesday, and then do that one Wednesday. Okay, I got that. Okay, I got it. Yeah, I got that right. Alright, so without further ado, let's go and get to this reaction, because this one, I love these. These are amazing. These are some of the best videos that I love, even though they freaking petrify me, because who in their right mind would make movies like this? Shut up, Xbox. Alright, let's continue.
Just woken up, chained to a table, and forced to play a death game.
Nope.
But when each player must vote to execute someone before time runs out, what do? Everyone here
scream like a girl.
Is hiding a dark secret, and once the truth is revealed, you'll have a hard time choosing who should die first. I'm going to break down the mistakes made.
Sheesh, they got scissors out the entire body. Wow. How to be judge.
Everyone here deserves to die. 7 people have just woken up to find themselves chained to a table with animal masks on their heads, and they're all about to play a death game. Panicking, they all try to...
You know, I wouldn't mind being there if they only give me a wolf head. I'll be fine. I'll be like, alright, do what you want. I don't care. That's such a lie. I'll be freaking peeing my pants. And I'm not afraid to admit that, but I probably would anyway. That Alright, let's continue before I don't even know. Let's continue.
Break free, but can't escape their restraints. This man tries to remove his mask, but quickly realizes it's locked into his head, and in 17 minutes, somebody is going to be executed. Rabbit Mask here notices that they're being watched, and they all have a camera in the middle of their foreheads. The group is terrified, and nobody knows who anybody else is.
Is the thing in 17 minutes, or about quarter of an hour, is the thing mechanic? If it is, then their skull is going to be this to that. I mean, it's a quick way to go out. It's painless to an extent. The most painless death that I know of, actually, is either being shot in the, well, of course, head, or possibly the heart, but I don't know. It depends on who the person is. But I really don't know. I don't know why I'm talking about this. I really don't even know why I'm talking about this. Oh god, I'm losing my sanity yet again. Alright, let's continue.
Else is, but the man in the fox mask is disturbingly calm. By the end of the death game, this guy is going to kill more people than anyone else in the room. That's when Dog here finds a bruise on his chest, and the man recognizes it as a stun gun burn. Hearing this, the girl in the lion mask remembers his chest, and the man recognizes it as a stun gun burn.
A stun gun. I think it said a stun gun burn. It's a stun gun burn. No, that's a very... Okay, I can see why I messed that sentence up. That sentence dumb. A stun gun burn. A stun gun burn. Stun gun burn. But are those like tasers? Just the things that will stun you? That, yeah, I'm missing that's what it is. Alright, let's continue.
Remembers how she was taken from her villa, and although she never saw the person's face, she has a stun gun burn just like the man in the dog mask. Okay, this This is not your typical death game. It's
Yeah.
already clear that we're going to be competing to stay alive somehow, but even if we don't know the rules of the game yet, I know one thing for sure. We are all wearing animal masks to make us appear less human to the other players. This is a terrifying idea, because the less human we appear, the more willing everyone is to hurt or kill us.
That's the truth of it, too. It really is. Just think about it. We have done so much and hurt so many animals, and what he's saying is relatively true. The less human that a thing looks like, the more willing to off it, pretty much. Man. I made this channel to get away from this stuff. Now I'm freaking going back into this stuff. Man, this is going to be a very brutal one to do, isn't it? I'm regretting my life decisions up to this point, aren't I? Yes, I am. Alright, let's continue.
Nobody can see each other's expressions of fear or sadness,
True.
and that removes empathy from the equation. So this death game is perfectly staged for the most cold-blooded decision-making.
What is empathy? Is empathy and sympathy the exact same thing? I know sympathy is like you feeling bad for somebody and actually wanting to help them out. But the way I learned what empathy is empathy is, oh, you're feeling sad. Okay, good. Do your schoolwork. That's pretty much what I learned. That's how I found it out, kind of. It was at school. I don't even know. I don't know too many emotions. I really don't. I know the basic emotions. That's it. Happy, sad, excited, frustrated, those. Mad, angry, exhausted. Just those. Empathy and sympathy are two of the ones that confuse me the most. Alright, let's continue.
You can imagine, and that makes it all the more dangerous. Now, the other crucial detail about this game is that there are cameras absolutely everywhere. The only reason you would have this many cameras is if we were being watched for someone's entertainment.
Yeah.
I would think of this as a virtual gladiators arena, where if you're fun to watch, then maybe you won't be killed off quickly, but if you're boring or unlikable, then you'll be disposed of. Whoever is watching us wants to see something messed up. So this is a game where being as evil as possible might put us ahead. But first, we have to find out what the game is and what its rules are before we can exploit them. Suddenly, these screens on the table switch on, showing the uncovered faces of everyone in the room, but nobody knows which face belongs to which person. Dog Ear taps one of the pictures, and an electronic voice begins to tell them that the man in the photo is an unemployed shut-in. He became so violent and abusive to his mother that she decided her life wasn't worth living, and that man is someone in this room. Everyone...
Oh, God. Oh. Okay, that's brutal. Okay. Oh, God. This is going to be... This is going to be a dark one, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay. Whew. Alright. Mentally brace myself because I don't do blood. I can do gore to an extent. I can do funny gore, like Deadpool, stuff like that. I can do that. But when it comes to just the iffy, grippy amount of gore in it, I can't do it. I really can't do it. Sheesh. I need to buy a new one of these. It's like 2 years old now. Sheesh. But man, this is going to be a messed up one. Alright, let's continue.
Everyone is disgusted by this dark secret, and they don't know who it is. But that's when Bear Mask here stands up in a panic. He questions how anyone can trust this information, and the group begin to suspect that it's him. Trying to change the subject, he reaches over to tap another picture on someone else's screen, but nothing happens. The screens only work for those who they're assigned to. Cheating is out of the question, and the only chance they have to escape is...
Oh, that's terrifying. That lion mask is terrifying. Especially since I cannot do animatronics either. From the most well-known animatronic game ever, FNAF. It's mentally scarred me enough. I have never played FNAF. I've never played ever. ever for one reason. The jump scares. I can't handle those. I really, really, really can't. Will be petrified if I do. Even though I know most of them, they still always get me most times. And me playing the game almost at 3 a.m. on most days is not a good thing. Alright, let's continue.
Find out what the rules of the death game.
I try to stop pausing
All of a
so
sudden,
much,
they hear
but
an alarm and see a help notification flash on the screen. Pressing on it, they're finally told the rules of the game. Rule number 1. They all must vote to decide who has committed the worst sin. Rule number 2. Whoever gets the most votes is going to be executed on the spot. Rule number 3. The person who makes it to the final round will be set free. The final rule is that everyone must vote before time runs out, but they only have 11 minutes remaining to decide who should be the first to die. Okay, beating your mother until she doesn't want to live is horrible, and we all want to see him punished, but voting to kill him for it could seriously backfire. This game will soon reveal the worst thing you've ever done in your life, so if we are cold-hearted about killing others, we won't get any...
You know, I've never done that many bad things in my life that I could really think of. Other than maybe cussing every now and then, but what kid ever does that? I mean, like, every 12-year-old does it on Fortnite nowadays, but, like, I can't think of anything else but that. I legitimately can't think of anything else but that. I don't know, really. Let's continue, because I'll continue thinking. Let's continue.
Any sympathy when our sins are revealed, and that's dangerous. I would first try to convince them that it's in our mutual interest to not listen to any of the sins because everyone in the room has done something terrible.
True.
None of us want anyone to hear the worst thing we've ever done because it makes it easier to vote for our deaths.
I'm in there, my thing's like, kill a butterfly. They're like, I'm like, I don't know, I don't even know why I'm here, it's just there. But it's frustrating me because I don't, let's continue.
By getting everyone to refuse the information, we remove a convincing reason to kill each of us, and it levels the playing field.
Okay.
Now, this completely opens the doorways for death game strategy, because whatever they learn about you from this point forward can be a complete fabrication. We need to make people like us so they don't vote to have us killed, and if we don't reveal the sins, they'll have no external source of information to judge you on other than your actions in this room, and it gives us more freedom to control the game. Pig here claims she's never committed any crime and that she doesn't deserve to be here, but with the clock ticking down, they all begin to discuss who they should kill. Rabbit Mask here suggests that the man should die for causing his mother's death, and everyone around the table considers her suggestion. Realizing he'll die if he doesn't convince them, the man confesses that he did beat his mom, but his abusive father was even worse. And since he was raised in a broken home, none of this should be considered his fault. Wolf Mask here is tired of his excuses.
Wolf Mask, yay, you're my favorite.
But that's when he shows his true colors. Throwing a tantrum, the man in the bear mask screams at the group, admitting that his mom died because of his abuse and that she deserved it because she was a bad mother.
Whenever I do this, and that smile right there, that's either I'm going insane, or I'm so shocked that I switch emotions. Smiling is, oh god, I'm terrified. And this is like, okay, that just happened. But, yeah. That, you're dead. You're kind of dead. Just gonna put that out there. You're kind of dead. You're kind of dead. Like, you're dead because you're dead. You're a dead man walking. Dead. Alright, let's continue.
Okay, Bear Mask is making some terrible decisions.
Yeah.
Even though his sin was revealed first, he still had a way to control the situation. With only one sin revealed, they have to make a judgment based on your word versus the computer, and there's no way to confirm the information. If he reacted like a calm and rational person by simply telling
My question is, how are all of these... What would you... I'll just call him the Game Master. I'll just call him that. How are these Game Masters get all the technology from? I want a touch screen thing where I can just go, boop, YouTube. Boop, Netflix. Boop, Hulu. Boop, Chill. No. I should never even use Chill, actually. Yep, I should never use Chill. Nope. But, were they good? Okay, I know it's a movie, but still. I'm gonna get so aggravated on this one. This video is very longer than it should be. And we're not even almost halfway done, I don't even think. Alright, let's continue. I'm gonna quit pausing it from, at least try to quit pausing it from now on.
Them that this information is false and has been made up by the death game to manipulate them into killing him. It might be enough for the players to doubt the information on the screen and second guess their decision to kill you. Instead, he started acting out in anger and threw a tantrum, and that makes it easy to believe that he beat his mother. Now, by his reaction alone, he's given everyone enough reason to vote for his execution, so we need to figure out how to manipulate all of these players to make sure that they don't vote for you even after they learn what you've done to deserve it. If I were Bear Mask, the most obvious solution is to play everyone else's sins, because it will make it harder for them to judge if the worst thing they've ever done is out in the open.
True. If you have someone that will just do that, someone that beat their mother or very much or she committed suicide, but also someone else that will say that someone in this room. I hate doing this because it seems wrong, but most of these movies are wrong in some way, so we'll just say that one of these people in this room beat a child to death. There, we'll just say that out loud. I'm probably going to get demonetized. I'm probably going to get canceled from that. But what would you choose? I mean, like, huh? You really have to think about that, actually. You really have to think about that. Alright, let's continue again.
Since everyone has their own screen, nobody would be able to stop you from tapping every single profile and revealing their sin, as long as there's enough time on the clock to listen to them. The only problem with this strategy is that as soon as you play everyone else's sin, they will all know that the information is true, which confirms that Bear really did beat his mother and caused her death. So the strategy should only be used as a last resort if we can't convince them that this information is a lie. With only 3 minutes left to make a decision, the woman in the rabbit mask tries to convince everyone to vote for the bear to die first, but the wolf here has a clever idea. He proposes that they should all vote for themselves, and that way no one will be executed because everyone will receive one vote and it will be a tie. The man in the dog...
But the game master would have already thought of something like this, and it could be just like a random selection where we'll just off someone randomly. Like some of the other ones, like I think it was like platforms like that I watched, and it did that. It did like that too. So who knows?
The dog mask argues that they have no clue if this will even work, but the lion points out it's the safest play to make. With this man's life hanging in the balance and less than 30 seconds remaining, all the players cast their votes. The kid in the wolf mask chooses himself, and as the countdown hits 0, all the players are nervous to find out which of them will get killed. The results are almost unanimous. 5 people chose to execute Bear Mask, and only 1 person voted for himself. Realizing he's about to die, the game triggers a mechanic sound coming from his handcuffs. He desperately tries to take it off, but it's too late. His head snaps back, and he falls to the ground, becoming the first of 7 people executed for his sins. Everyone starts to panic and try to break out of their restraints. Suddenly, the timer resets itself, and now they have 20 minutes to execute another player, and you'll be surprised when you find out who they pick next and the terrible thing they did to deserve it. Okay,
what is it?
Things just got real.
Yeah,
Bear Mask has
really
died
real.
for his sins, and we killed him. But this is what makes this game so dangerous. Every single player here has the ultimate weapon against you, which is their vote. But this can be taken advantage of if we play our cards right. The only way anyone can decide to execute you is by using their screens and tapping on your picture. But if they weren't able to use them, then they wouldn't be able to vote at all. According to rule number 4 of this death game, everyone must vote. So if we could prevent any of these players from being able to use their screens, it might eliminate them from the game. Everyone here is locked to the table, but these chains are still long enough to reach your neighbor's monitor. I would take my chair and bash it against the next player's screen to break it and kick away their chair so that they can't retaliate. Then I would encourage the others to do the same to the player next to them. This will create absolute chaos, and it would all be to your benefit. because the more screens that are broken, the more players are eliminated without being able to vote against.
True.
The most likely outcome from this is that the fox can overpower the pig and break her screen, and the dog will break the rabbit's screen. But what's interesting here is that Wolfe was the only person to vote for himself, which makes it more likely that he would hesitate to break someone else's monitor because his strategy is to keep everyone alive.
Yeah.
Now, Lion here voted to execute
Probably
the
what
bear,
I would
but the
do
wolf
too
didn't,
if
which
I was in
tells me
this
she would be willing to
situation.
take away his chair and break his screen if she was fast enough. In a best case scenario, we could eliminate 3 players at once, and since everyone is playing
Wonder who
for their
wins this
lives,
one.
it wouldn't be hard to convince the strongest and fastest in the group that this was the best way to guarantee they survive into the next round.
Yeah.
Wolf Mask looks under his handcuffs and finds 6 metal strands have been inserted into his wrist. There's no way to remove them, and Mind Mask is so overwhelmed with fear that she collapses to the floor. The man bends down to ask what's wrong, and she tells him to get her medication. Reaching into her pocket, he takes out a pill and feeds it to the woman through her mask. Okay, this guy has a great opportunity here to eliminate another player. The fact that the death game let this girl keep these pills tells me she needs them to stay alive, otherwise they wouldn't have been given to her.
True.
Nobody else in this room was allowed to keep any of their personal items, and the
Yeah.
rabbit mentioned that even her contact lenses were taken. So these pills must be really important for her to keep playing the game. What I would do is take the pills away and tell her I would only give them back if she promises to vote for who I say. It's definitely not a nice thing to do, but in a death game, you have to take every opportunity that presents itself if you want to stay alive. Now, we can only pull this off if none of the other players know that I'm holding her pills hostage, but I would still try it because Wolfe and Lion here are on the edge of the table and nobody can see what they're doing. If we make her an offer she can't refuse and do it quietly enough so the others can't hear, we can now control 2 votes instead of 1. Wolfe here confronts the others and accuses them of murdering Bear Mask with their votes, but they refuse to accept any blame for the man's death. Getting tired of the
That's survivor's
accusations,
guilt,
Dog
I think
decides to
that
tap on
is,
the Wolf's
but
picture next to find out what secret he's hiding. The electronic voice announces that Wolf Mask was a bodyguard who abused his power and beat someone to death while he was on the job. The others call him out for being a hypocrite, but Wolf Mask defends his actions as self-defense. Dog here selects 3 different portraits. Dog Mask became the president of his company, but he was so jealous of his co-workers that he lied and cheated to put himself on top, with no consideration of the cost or whose lives he would destroy. Pig Mask here was working as a volunteer and was secretly stealing food from refugees. She put her desire to eat over starving families, and that makes her one mean little piggy. Rabbit Mask is a hostess of a gentleman's club. She slept with several of her customers for money, but destroyed her own marriage and lost her family in the process.
Oh,
she placed
karma.
her selfish desires over everyone that needed her, and that puts her on this list. But what no one here realizes is that finding out Rabbit Mask's story gives us the perfect tool to get her on our side. We need to seduce her. Manscaped.com is the global brand for men's grooming and hygiene products.
You sly bastard. You sly. You are sly. But in a good way. That was a great way to just to put in an ad. What? Oh. No. I don't know. This video is like 30 minutes long. Yeah, we're not halfway done. Yeah. I know. Okay. Pick the door up. Oh my god. Oh my god. Give me a sec. Sheesh. Alright. Sorry about that. That was my stepbrother. He wanted to see if we wanted to watch YouTube, which I'm doing right now, but yeah. Alright, so let's hurry up and do this real quick so I can go do this. Alright, so let's continue. But he did that ad perfectly.
Liquid formulations for the big 3 odor zones: your body, butt, and balls. And if you're sweating in these masks all day, we're going to need some good grooming and odor management to make our seduction plan work. Their performance package 4.0 includes a lawnmower
Yeah, okay, I
4.0
might need that.
waterproof electric trimmer with LED lights, wireless charging, and advanced skin-safe technology, which reduces nicks and cuts on the most sensitive regions of the body, as well as the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant, Crop Reviver Ball Toner Spray, and the Weed Whacker Nose and Ear Hair Trimmer. Gentlemen, these products are a whole new
I'm gonna buy
You
this
can't
one
go wrong
day.
giving your beehole some tender love and care. And for a limited time, you get all this plus 2 free gifts: the Shed Travel Bag and the Manscaped Anti-Chafing Boxer Briefs. Go to manscaped.com/howtobeat today and get 20% off plus free international shipping when you use promo code HowToBeat
It's actually
at checkout.
worldwide too.
Thank you to Manscaped for sponsoring this video. Wolfmaster begs them to do the right thing and vote for themselves so nobody has to die, and with 2 minutes remaining, Lion Mask suddenly recovers from her anxiety attack and offers to join Wolfe in voting for herself. She presses her portrait on the screen to cast her vote and waits for the others to make their decision. The countdown reaches 0 and it's time to find out which of them will die next. Okay, this is an interesting solution here. Having everyone vote for themselves is going to make it so that there are no winners and no losers, and the genius part of this strategy is that it doesn't break any of the rules.
True.
The game states that whoever makes it to the
But
final
it could just
round
do a
will be
random
set
selection
free,
to off
but it doesn't
someone.
say that there can only be one winner. This is an elegant solution to beating this death game, but it also presents a terrible problem. This room is full of crooked people who can't be trusted, and when everyone's scared for their lives, it's going to be impossible to get everyone to vote for themselves. It's important to realize that if you vote for yourself, all it takes is for one person to break the agreement and vote for you instead, and with 2 votes, it will be enough to get you killed.
True.
If we can't escape, then there's no choice but to play the game the way it was designed, and that means we need to influence their votes, but we can't do that unless we understand how they think.
True.
Now, we have reason to believe that these animal masks have meaning, or else they would all be the exact same. If I were the game designer, I would have given them all Dead Mouse and Donnie Darko heads for my own amusement, but whoever set this up went out of his way to select 7 separate animals. They must have been chosen to represent their personalities, and 7 is not an accidental number either.
So, Wolf, being like he's a lone wolf, kind of. Like he's just all on his own. He never does anything with... That's sort of like me in a way. Sort of. I will interact with people to an extent. If I know you, then I'm like, oh hey, how's it been? I'll hang out with you. But if I don't know you, I'm like, okay. So I'm a little bit of introverts, but not too much. Also, the virus is not done me any favors, actually. I've been home alone, well, not home alone, but home alone with no social interaction for about a year now. So, not good for me. Not good for anyone, actually. Not good for anyone these days. Alright, let's continue.
This connects perfectly to the 7 deadly sins in Catholicism.
Oh,
and if
wow.
we're the only ones in the game to realize the significance of this, we can figure out how they think, and all
wow.
we need to do is look at their masks. A fox is both sly and a scavenger, so we might be able to assume that this man is greedy and scavenges off of others. He's an opportunist, and it tells us how to negotiate with him. As long as our interests are aligned, we should be able to rely on him to help take down everyone else, but he'll definitely stab you in the back once it suits him. Dogs are desperate for attention, which means he's most likely here for envy. I would try to make him feel important by asking his opinion on what we should do. If he feels respected, he will be less likely to vote for my execution. Lions are symbols of bravery, so the lion mask probably represents pride. Lions in real life, by the way, are actually lazy as hell. It's not possible that a lion represents sloth in this game, because the bear mask who died earlier was lazy, and bears hibernate, so he must have been sloth. By using the masks to figure out what each of their personality flaws
Wolf is
are,
wrath.
we
That
should
makes
have more
sense,
success
actually.
in manipulating them without anyone noticing. The longer we hide from conflict and tell them what they want to hear, they will vote for each other's deaths. If we appear neutral and anonymously vote for others to be executed, we won't appear to be a threat to anyone, and it's much harder to kill somebody that you like.
True.
They all look at their screens to find that each person only received 1 vote, and Wolf here is certain they're all going to survive this time. The group is relieved, but Pig here is furious. She demands to know who voted for her, and they all begin to realize that the pig did not vote for herself. She gets into a fight with the dog, and it becomes clear that while everyone else voted for themselves, Pig and Dog both voted for each other and are only alive by sheer luck. The countdown timer resets, and they have 5 minutes less than they did before. But that's when Lion here discovers that her mask has been unlocked, and they can all finally take them off. Setting themselves free, the players all get to see everyone's faces directly for the first time, but this girl here looks familiar to them. Curious to learn more about her, someone taps her picture and an electronic voice reveals her secret. Lion here is a model that became too popular for her own good and couldn't handle being the center of public attention. But when she viciously lashed out at her fans and critics, posting horrible insults, the public was so offended that she got cancelled by the media. Rabbit here makes fun of the model for being easily triggered, but the pig sympathizes and tries to strike a deal, saying that she will not vote against her if she agrees to choose the dog to be executed for the next judgment. Okay, Pig here has taken this game into dangerous territory because she's starting to bargain with other people's lives. But there's a lot of risk involved by using this strategy. If we aggressively pressure people to execute other players, we'll draw too much attention to ourselves, and that makes it more likely that we will be voted against later. We have to be very careful how we team up, because on our own we have a 1 in 7 chance of dying, but by forming into teams, that risk is much higher because the votes become more targeted. Now, there's one exception to this problem, and this is the one time in the whole game that you could team up to kill someone without worrying about it coming back.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it at a base average, 15% chance of dying. I think maybe. So it really depends on how you do it. I can't do it right now because I'm a calculator or paper, so. I think it's like 1 divided by 7 will equal something. I think it may be like 6%, 16%, something like that, 16 point something. I don't know. You guys might want to tell me that in the comments down below if you guys are here. But let's go and continue.
Back to bite you in the ass. The previous round showed us that everyone was willing to vote for themselves except for these two. This tells me it would be easy to convince everyone else in the group to vote for Pig or Dog here because they can't be trusted to cooperate.
True.
Since nobody died in the last round, the game has demonstrated that it's possible to survive if we work as a group, but the plan won't work without total cooperation. I would propose for all of us to vote for both Pig and Dog's execution, and it lets me gang up with others to eliminate
but if the mask is off, then how did it get killed? Does it seem like an electric current due to the needles that injures your body? If it does, then that would be a painful way to go out. Like a very painful way to go out. Just think about that. Frying from the inside out. Sheesh. Alright, let's continue.
Without making me sound threatening or vindictive. I don't have to worry about getting negative attention or votes in the next round, and we can all vote for ourselves through the rest of the game, and nobody else will have to die. The fox insists they all need to vote for themselves, but the pig refuses and decides it's time to learn about who this man is and what terrible things he's done to be here. She taps his portrait, and they find out he was a life coach for the mentally unstable, and got rich taking advantage of them, making over 500 million yen from his scheme. They're all
Isn't like 500 yen, like... I don't know. Maybe like $1 million? I really don't know. I can't really... I really don't know the at base value of $1 to equals how many yen. So I might look that up after the video. Actually, I might want to do that. All right, let's continue.
Disgusted by his secret, and as the clock runs down, they all cast their votes. The results come in, and they're all shocked to find out that the pig and the dog will be executed next. They desperately try to escape from their handcuffs, but it's too late. Dog here jolts in pain and falls to the ground dead as the woman collapses to the floor. That's now 3 players down and 4 remaining. Lion here demands to know why the others didn't vote for themselves, and Fox tells them that he believes the only way out is to play for your self-interest and not as a group. A notification...
You shouldn't say that out loud, you dumb idiots. They're going to target you, and you will die.
Suddenly appears on their screens, and when the girl taps it, all their chains drop to the floor, and they've entered the next stage of the game. Searching the room, they all begin looking for a way out, and Wolfe here inspects one of the dead bodies. Lion tells him she will vote to kill someone in the next round, and he thanks her for being honest. But this girl is a lot more evil than she seems.
True.
Soon she's going to have the perfect chance to sell them all out, and nobody realizes she's about to become the most dangerous player in the game. Okay. This is a major upgrade, because now we have a lot more options for how to play this game. Until now we were chained to the desk, and our only options were to manipulate others and influence how they voted. Being free to walk around the room gives us the ability to find ways to take control of our environment as well. The first thing I would do is locate every single camera and try to block its vision. So far, the game's audience has been able to see everything we do, and if we take that away, it ruins the game for them. Now, this could be incredibly risky because they might decide to kill all of us and kidnap new players, but to me, it's still worth trying. With 4 players left, there's no guarantee that we're going to win, and we need to start taking control of whatever we can to force the game to react to us, instead of us reacting only to the game. Ruining the game forces the game's audience to decide to either warn us, kill us, or intervene. And 2 out of 3 of those options have a higher chance of survival than voting to execute 3 more players.
True.
If the game designers decide to intervene, it might bring someone into the room, and that gives us a chance to escape. Now, the next thing I would do is inspect the dead bodies, because there's something we could learn from them. I would first try to find out more about these handcuffs and how deep these pins go into the wrist by pulling them out of the corpse's arm. If we see that the metal might be charred, then we can deduce that they were killed by electric shock.
Yes, the jolting might be electricity.
Short-circuit the mechanism so that it can't be triggered. The dead bodies allow us to safely tamper with the handcuffs without accidentally killing ourselves. Fox here finds an automated door and can't open it, but Wolfe here has a plan. Pulling on these cables connected to a circuit box, he rips one off and the power cuts out. Left in the dark, he takes out a light source from one of the animal masks and they work together to pry the door open. Walking out to explore, the group finds another locked door at the end of the hall, and they try to get someone's attention by knocking on it, but no one answers. Fox brings over a toolbox, and the Wolf takes a power drill, trying to bore a hole through the lock, but the drill bit breaks off. As Rabbit and Fox walk back into the main room, a light turns on, and all the screens come to life. The power has been restored, and they've only got 8 more minutes left before they have to cast another vote. That's when the automatic door starts to close. The players try to hold it open, but they're not strong enough to stop it. Wolf and Lion are trapped outside with no way back in, and if they can't get it open, in 7 minutes, they're both going to die. Rabbit taunts them through the door that they won't survive, and Lion starts to panic. She knows they have no chance of getting back in, but Wolf here has an idea that might just save her life.
Come on, Wolf, I believe in you. You're my spirit animal, sort of.
Okay,
I'm gonna do it in the Wolf Kid, come on.
Wolf and Lion here can't get back in, and if they don't vote, they might be executed by the game.
Yeah.
This is perfect for Rabbit and Fox, because they can both vote for the others to die, and they won't be able to do anything about it. Now, ironically, if this happened, the game would actually get a lot harder. If the game ends in 2 people, it will be a permanent stalemate, because there's no chance that with only 2 people left in the game, someone would vote for themselves. They'll continue to vote the same every round, and the game will go nowhere. This makes it highly likely that they will introduce a new rule in the final round, and since the clock gives them less time after every round, we will have very little time to consider how to strategize if a new rule is introduced into the game. To prevent this situation from happening, we need to find a way to end this game in a single round and kill 3 people at once. And luckily for Fox here, there's a quick way
one
to do that.
person
When they were out in the hallway,
that round and 2 the next round, I guess, I don't know.
Inside. I would have taken the tools with me to the other room and used this wrench to shatter every single voting screen except for my own. Since we saw earlier that another person's screen cannot be used by another player to vote on, this would make it only possible for one player to vote in the next round. And since one of the rules states that every player must vote, they would likely all be executed. With 2 players stuck outside in the hallway, this is even easier to pull off, because there's only one person to try and stop you, and Rabbit here doesn't have the physical strength to prevent it. Fox realizes that if one of them
every
takes out the
single
handcuffs,
person's gonna say, no, that's
Thinking quickly,
that's mean.
He tampers with the power box and opens the door to let them both in. With 15 seconds left, Wolf and Lion
How'd that
walk
work
back
again?
to the table to cast
I kind of tune
the
things out,
winner, and
apparently.
still have to vote. Thinking quickly, he tampers with the power box and opens the door to let them both in. With 15 seconds left, Wolf and Lion walk back to the table to cast their votes. The results come in, and Rabbit has been chosen to be executed. Shocked, the woman begs for mercy, but dies and becomes the 4th victim of the death. And now there are only 3 players left.
How is she going?
And grow your business.
He said that she's the most dangerous one, the lion one. So how is...
The timer resets, and they now have 5 minutes left to vote for another execution. Wolf here tries to figure out who voted for Rabbit and realizes it was Lion and Fox. He asks her why she voted to kill her, and she claims she didn't, but when the man walks over to her screen, he finds a bloody fingerprint over Rabbit's portrait. Lion lied to him and broke his trust. The girl defends her decision, saying that the Rabbit was going to vote for her, and if she voted for herself, she would be dead. Realizing she's right, Wolf suddenly takes the saw and continues to cut at her restraints. He finally cuts through the cuffs, and Lion is relieved that she's free from the game. Fox here takes the saw and begins cutting at his own restraint, but that's when Lion shows her true colors. She asks them what would happen if she voted for one of them now that her handcuff is removed, and it shocks them both. Okay, Lion here is not as innocent.
Couldn't you guys just, I don't know, restrain her? I mean, it wouldn't be that hard. Probably ran out of time, but still, you guys could still, well, you guys couldn't vote for her because that would, every single solution that I think about that's actually very, very bloody, and every single solution you guys could do. Why don't you think about it? Oh God.
Innocent as she seems. She voted to kill both the bear and the rabbit, and she might decide to vote again.
Yeah.
This is bad for us, because now she won't have to worry about retaliation, and that makes her unpredictable. This isn't the only bad news either. We saw earlier that it took over 4 minutes for Wolfe to cut through the girl's handcuffs, and since the time on the clock gets shorter in every round, we won't have enough time to cut our own handcuffs off from this point on.
True.
That means we will have no other choice but to play the game. Fox and Wolfe should both vote against Lion here because without her handcuffs, she's free from the game, so there's no risk to anyone. This seems like an obvious decision, and that's exactly why we can use it to do something really unexpected to win. If I'm Wolfe here, I would first pretend to vote for myself. Fox is most likely to vote for Lion because she's free from her handcuffs, and Lion is most likely to vote for Fox because he's an asshole. Once they've made their vote, I would reveal that I haven't actually chosen yet and look at their screens to confirm who they voted for. If Fox has a single vote, I would tip the scales and give him a second vote, ensuring that he gets executed. The best part about this strategy is that it will help us win the next round too, because when there are only 2 people left, it's going to be much safer to play against Lion.
True.
If she thinks she's free from the death game, then both votes can go to her, and this way we can both win and escape with our lives. The remaining players all cast their votes, and when the results come in, they see that both Wolfe and Fox voted for the Lion. Hearing a whirring sound, she panics, and they all realize that removing the handcuff did nothing to save her. She crawls on the floor in terror, and suddenly jerks back, clutching her throat as she becomes the 5th person to die. Now there are only 2 players left.
So it's not electronic. It's not electricity. Then what is it? What is it? So if it isn't the bracelet thing, then it has to be something inside of them. That'd be awful to do. But, interesting.
Left in the death game. The timer resets itself, counting down from 3 minutes, and their handcuffs suddenly unlock. Both men toss their restraints to the floor, and Wolfe insists that they can both survive the next round if they trust each other once more and vote for themselves, but Fox here mocks him. The man points out that with only 2 players, it's clearly too dangerous to vote for yourself, and he'll have to vote for his opponent if he wants any chance to win. Suddenly, the screens start flashing, and Wolfe sees they're both getting hundreds of votes from the viewers of this death game. Wolfe is going to lose, and he realizes there's only one way left to win. He chases after Fox and brutally beats him unconscious. That's when he has an idea and grabs his own handcuff, pressing it against Fox's neck, and kills him with it just before the countdown reaches 0. He's the last player alive, but to his surprise, the countdown restarts. He rushes to the tables and sees a new round is in progress. This time, the viewers are voting on whether he should live or die. Furious, he punches the screen and breaks one of the cameras, and as the countdown reaches 0, his judgment has finally come. But what do you think? How would you be judged? Let me know with a comment down below. Thank you.
I would cry. Sheesh. That was a plot twist if I ever saw one. Man. That was brutal, though. Not one of the bad ones, not one of the worst ones I've seen. That one was like this one right here. That one was this one. That one was that one, and Home Sweet Home. Those are the 2 worst ones I've seen so far, at least in the gore aspect. This one was just messed up in the moral aspects. Man. Alright, so I'll see you guys next video. You guys probably already know that I'm going to be reacting to, I probably haven't told you guys, I'm going to be reacting to Epic Rap Battles of History's new video. It's coming out tomorrow. I have no clue what it's about, and I'll probably no clue what it's about anyway, but we'll see what it's about. I don't know who is going up against who, so we'll probably see during that video. Alright, so I'll see you guys then. See you guys then. Bye.